Start recording.
Okay.
Okay, good evening, folks. So we have Dr. Wang going to be taking this week's sessions on SAP Analytics, and I would like to really personally thank you very much for her kindness to come and give us and share her experience with SAP Analytics. She did the same thing last year, and it was really very useful. And again, I want to thank Dr. Wang, and she is a much better instructor or teacher or professor than what I can do. You know, I kind of throw you guys in the water and say, okay, go and swim, but she really holds your hand and make you, you know, teach you how to swim. So if you have any question, feel free to ask. And I think with that, I'm just going to give the floor to Dr. Wang. Dr. Wang, it's all yours now. And thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. Good evening again, everyone. Dr. Disa is too modest, and I learned a lot from him during the past years since I started to teach the accounting system class. We attended a few workshops and seminars together. I learned a lot from him. So I'd like to thank him again and all of the class to invite me today, and also the kindness to allow me to bring my accounting students to the session. Uh, I think to save time, okay, we will get started directly. SAP Analytics Cloud is another major analytical tool available in the market, along with Tableau, Power BI, or if you use the Excel, like the basic Excel ones, Access, or maybe Altrace, and any others, you can name it. I did some on the Tableau. It happens I just start teach Tableau in my system class today. I think a brief comparison, I don't think they have much different functionalities between Tableau, Power BI, and SAP Analytics Cloud. But interface and the structure of the design later you can tell from the demos is quite different and unique from the SAC if Dr. Design agrees. Because normally we can easily use the Tableau as a beginner because you can see the way we pick the variables, we design, I connect all of the tables, and we construct the charts, the tables, and visualization is very similar to Excel. But SAP is a little bit different, especially from the beginning. We will quickly see it in a few minutes after I just go through the slides very quickly. The slides I already posted under the course contents in Blackboard with other day one materials. To simply put it, SAP Analytical Cloud is a one-step solution. So I think I'm not promoting for SAP, but I like it. It's like kind of like a one-step solution for most of the business analytic problems, prediction, scenarios, and planning for the future. So it can help the managers to use their data more wisely, more efficiently, and take actions more confidently. And it has some features. I got this from the SAC website. SAC means SAP Analytic Cloud. So it's not a typo. So we can differentiate SAP, the enterprise system. So we use ERP, HANA, or S4. That's for the transaction analysis and for ERP system. And this is their major business intelligence suite, used SACs on the platform of cloud-based. I don't know whether you like this cloud feature or not. So good or bad. Sometimes I feel it's running slow, especially when you have a slow internet speed, right? So if you use the cloud. In that case, Tableau has both the app you can download, but Tableau now offers Tableau Online also. So most of the analytic tools, even they have the app, they also offer the cloud-based. So the SAC features, like I mentioned in the beginning, is kind of a one-step solution for most of your business data problems. I'm not saying it will solve all of your problem, but the most. So you can have all the like descriptive analysis, diagnostic, predictive, prescriptive, even machine learning and artificial intelligence are integrated in most of the parts whenever possible in the built-in functions. And the SAC also can combine and integrate the data analytic with your other SAP applications and sources, such as your SAP HANA S4 database. Because I teach my system for the transaction process using the ERP. The data we generated from the ERP SAP HANA can directly be used as data source or data models in the SAC system. But we need some connection, and I'm not a tech person, so we need to learn some unique things to connect all of these applications and sources. I think you are more knowledgeable than me in this field. And another useful feature I like a lot for SAC is they have lots of over 100 pre-built best practice SAP content package. Means for lots of the data, when you have no clear idea how I'm going to do the analysis and what's the best way for me analyze the data, do the visualizations, they can give you suggestions, or you can use a pre-built like insights or smart discovery. So you can directly apply those pre-built in package to apply to your data and get some idea, and then with maybe revisions and adjustment later once you gain more experience. Finally, that's kind of some of the newest feature I learned from the past year is lots of the artificial intelligence and machine learning knowledge and skills has been built up in the most recent SAC version. They call smart features or smart discovery, insights, and also the predictive scenarios, which we will have more time to discuss those, I believe on Thursday. And this is probably the most of the selling point for the current SAC features. I shared all of the SAC analytic, like the YouTube. They have a YouTube channel and a playlist. Not really long for each of the video, like 4 minutes, 5 minutes. But totally they have over 100 short videos. So if you have time, you can pick and choose, like some intro, how to log in, how to do the modeling, analysis, visualization. So you may not have time to explore all of them, but based upon interest, you can pick and choose, okay, get a more comprehensive idea of the SAC. If you are particularly interested in the smart features, like machine learning, you can search SAC smart discovery or smart features. I believe the YouTube can give you lots of videos, demos you can watch. And sometimes even you can have a sample data set to practice, okay, as long as you have a like this student account, or you can download a free trial from the SAP. And if anyone have questions, okay, ask me anytime, okay, because this is a like I really don't have a, so if you have any questions pop up, just ask me. And this will be the home page once you log in into your SAC account. I believe like Dr. Desai still applied. Even for myself, we are using a free academic version donated by SAP. So it's kind of free for academic use. So based upon the videos I watched, this version looks slightly different from the real business version, like this homepage and some of the interface. But I believe most of the functionalities are identical. So we can do most of the things of the functionalities similar to the real business suite. Once you log in, you can, if you like, okay, you can adjust and modify your profile from the right side. You see if you have a, like I have just a picture, so you can change your profile setting, such as your preference for the background, the color, and the home screen. Okay, lots of the profile can be changed from here. And then they have all of the functions listed on the left. And similar to other applications, you may have your most recent files like data files or stories, visualizations listed in the middle. So you can pick up from there to save time. The functionalities, they have the name. If you point, you put your pointer to each of the icon, they will list the name. I believe you have the home page here. Then all of your files, this is your files directory. So you can modify and add more passes to the files and organize all of your files over there. And then this will be one you probably use very often. Okay, if you use SAC regularly, this is the data analysis and the data visualization. They call story. So all of the data analysis and the visualization, they are done by using this story function in SAC. You can have multiple pages, and in each page you can have multiple analysis. So it's organized. I know Tableau, they also have worksheet, dashboard, and a story, right? So story is like the higher presentation. So it's like a final analysis report. And you can do the similar things using the story here. And they will have some application, data sets, and the modeling. So modeling is another different feature, I believe, like unique feature in SAC, may not be available in Tableau or other those conventional data analytic tools. Then for the additional functions, if you click on this, like later when we do the demo, you will see, if you click on this arrow, you will see the additional functions not listed in the home page, such as the data actions, allocation. Allocation, you can use it for lots of the cost management, like allocating the overhead cost to each different departments, to different products. You can use cost allocation, cost planning. And the value driver, I didn't try this before, some other functions. And this is where the predictive scenarios is located, which we will explore more on Thursday. So you can do prediction, use regression models, time series studies, or classifications. So the major prediction. And then calendar, you can do planning. And this icon, this like two, like the mainframe, that's a connection. I believe for the real system person, if you want to get live data from your SAP like HANA system or any other applications, this is a place you can build your connections. I saw demos, but I don't really have knowledge to explore on this, but I will leave to you, okay, if you have the need in the future. And the data sets, in the beginning, I think most people, including myself, will get a little bit confused when we use data sets, when you use modeling for your data analysis. From my understanding, the data sets is more simple, like something we directly import from Excel, from CSV, or from a Access database. We don't need to do lots of data manipulation for the direct data sets. Like, I just use the original table, right, with all of the columns and the rows. I don't need to do lots of cleaning, transformation, building hierarchies, or grouping, change the data. So you can directly use a data set. And some of the predictive, I believe the regression and classification, you only can do using the data sets because they need a clear or simple, they call table format to do regression and classification. And but the modeling, which is a very unique and a useful feature in SAC, is something that's a place where you can do the data transformation. In another way, they also call like data wrangling, right? So like these terms, or maybe data governance. So that's a way you can organize the data we imported or we connected. So in that, like, we will change our original data to some specific feature as we planned, such as we can build a enrichment variable, like the location. So we can build a mapping analysis. We can build hierarchies from here and cleaning the data, found the missing values. So I think this is more like the data transformation stage. And the model can be used for most of your analysis purpose, except for like the regression or classification, which I mentioned, you must use original data sets. So no much like I pulled this also from the SAP. They did some brief comparison. Okay, in which situation you use data set and you use modeling and how they are different. What I expressed to me a lot is the data sets. They use our conventional table structure, like relational database. We have those table, column, and rows. But for the modeling, once you finish building your model, they use a structure. So correct me, okay, they call schema, right? Star structure for your data sets. So you have a center, then all have like different angles to look for your data. So it's something not like a simple column and row like formats. But anyway, like you can check this later, but mostly we will use the modeling. So we will import the data, build a model for regular analysis, and for regression and classification, we will use the data sets directly. And then that's the story function, like I mentioned earlier. This is a place we perform most of the data analysis and visualization. And you have choices how start your data analysis. You can design, so I think this is better than Tableau or others. You can accommodate like your display later once we finish the story. For example, mostly I choose the responsive because responsive can fit in all of the display settings. Computer like laptop, regular computer, mobile like mobile, and other like tablet. So it can be adjusted to the screen size. It's rather than like a fixed. And the canvas is most like a fixed presentation, like the size of your presentation. So most of the time we use responsive, and grid is some like table things, and then the smart discovery involve lots of machine learning. So when you try to initiate a smart discovery, I will let the system decide. I import my data, and I will let the system decide. I specify my target variable, and all of my like my dependent variable and independent variables, I will leave it to SAC to run the best approach to analyze my data. So they will give you the best approach recommended by the SAC automatically with the model, with the analysis they finished, and then they give you the key influencers like the top 3 or top 5. You also can do identify the outliers of the model, and then also you can run the simulations. So means you're planning. So if I change the variables, how the result will change depending my choices. This will be especially useful for planning and prediction. But we will leave the smart discovery demo to Thursday or with other predictive features. And today we will focus on creating the model and analysis from our own, like practice. Because I believe after we practice by our own, our own, you will have a better, even like deeper understanding how the smart discovery and the predictive features work. Okay, based upon your like if you did something manual by yourself, you understand more what the system can do. And this is the digital boardroom. We don't really have time to cover this, but this can be your large presentation build up. So you can, like for example, I want to combine my stories together or pick a few analysis important ones into a separate presentation. Okay, digital boardroom. You can do lots of formatting, styling, and you can change this to a final business report. And this is a predictive scenarios, as I mentioned. They have majorly three type of predictive features. Classification. We want to identify like a yes or no question, true or false question, or clustering analysis. We can perform from here. Regression analysis and the time series. I think we are almost in the, and this is the connection. Like if you want to build some real data connection, live data connection, we already have something in our account, but I really don't understand, okay, what they are doing, but you can work from here, okay, later. And then finally, so any questions so far before you see your homework? So that's something. So any question? Oh, not really homework. Okay, practice. So those will be the major practice we will do like today and on Thursday. Depending on the time. Okay, don't worry if I can't finish all of the demos by the time we finish the class. I can finish the rest of the demo, use additional recording. So day one, we will learn how to import like an external Excel file into the SAC account as a, I think we can directly import as a data file and then create a model. So data model use this Excel file and then create some basic data analysis and visualization, use the model already built. The Excel file I posted in the course content, and also this the two instruction file, like the two, one is the model building and the other one is the data analysis. We are not going to do all of the analysis in the handouts. We will focus on 5 of them because a few of them focus on the styling, like formatting. So I kind of, because of limited time, I think I will focus on the kind of really the popular functionalities such as a geomap, variances analysis, time series analysis, and some cost revenue analysis. Okay, that's my for today. And day 2 on Thursday, we will focus on the smart features on the SAC. We will check how you can do the insights, how you use the smart discovery, and the predictive scenarios. Also, I have some big data sets I will share with you later. So any question before I, so we get our hands, get your feet wet, like Dr. Desai mentioned, so we are getting into the pond. So always
Yeah,
feel
class, don't
excited.
hesitate to ask questions, guys.
Okay.
Don't feel bashful if you don't understand. Please ask,
Mhm.
because once we keep marching on, then it will be very difficult to come back. Then, so do ask. Okay, thank you.
No problem. Probably now they are still kind of confusing, right? So what it will look like? I think we will get more idea when we really log into the system, start on the hands-on practice. But again, if you have any question, just stop me, okay, anytime when we start on the demo. So I will stop this sharing and share my SAC account. Yeah, I put my SAC the demo in a large monitor. So Dr. Design, I learned this also. My eye is really getting hard to read the small font in the laptop. So I'm using this one. And once I start to use a large monitor, I couldn't come back. So I have to stay on this one. So
Yes, I know.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Oh. I see. Like, once I log in, because they are trying to find the working file, I didn't save. Okay, so it's called confused. So once you log in, similar, this is my account, and this name I got it from my profile, right? So you can add a picture, change the name, and other like settings for your profile. Even you can sign out from here. And then all of your major functionalities on the left, and the most recent work files, and some like the popular, like the ones listed in the middle. And you can really ask some question. I believe this like the also they call smart features. So you can use your natural language to ask some meaningful questions once you upload your data sets. For example, I ask, what's the total revenue per city? What's the total revenue per customer? So you don't need to run any analysis, just ask the question, use your natural language, the SEC will return the most relevant results. Okay, that's also very, I think, impressive for me. And we will start from and for like the data files, I have a lot, like, so you can see it's really not organized. So I'm trying to organize this, but that's like I have lots of working files in data sets, modeling stories. And once you start on your practice, remember, okay, every time you save, you should save under your class directory for all of the files. And we will start from here, import the data. So if you can go to the, like this one, the data model, okay, like this one, the modeling. And we have different choices. I will build a model from importing a external Excel file. Okay, you can use the one I uploaded to the Blackboard. So download to your hard drive, okay, to your local drive, then import it. And select your source file. I should still have under my workshop page. And this will be the GB, like GB is a global bike. This is the sample company we used for the SAP, also SAC. Like this is the academic case study for global biking. So GB analytical, click on this, is a large data set. We have almost, I believe, 200,000 of rows. So importing may take a little bit longer time. Okay, just be patient. I already imported a few times yesterday, so I probably still have my older version, okay, listed under the import. And the first row contains my field name. Okay, most of the case will be like that. I probably can increase, yes, zoom it. Okay, if you can see, yeah, I think that's better. Okay, clear. Where is my importing go? So probably just do it one more time in case I lose it. And you can see on the right side, so is uploading the data. And to save time, if you see, and this is the one I uploaded yesterday. Okay, once you upload or import a data, it will exist in your system for 7 days before they remove it. Okay, means you don't need to import it multiple times because this take a little bit of time, like a few minutes to finish. So probably I will just cancel this one. Okay, I can use my prior, okay, like data. So I have like this is the one I just imported. So I will once you see your data sets appear on like the page, you can double click that. It will open on the modeling. Because we have a large data sets, they may not show all of the rows and the columns. So they will say they only show like the partial of your data sample. So only a sample will be shown. That's fine. So just click OK. And this is how the data model will look like initially after you import it. So it's quite similar to Excel at this point, right? So you see all of your data fields and all of your rows. The data fields, they try to identify and give the best definition. So is a numerical value or is a text file or is a data file or location. They are trying to do the best definition when we import the data from the original Excel. And you can check each of your data column, like the features, summarize statistic. For example, this is a text file, and they normally call dimension in SAC. Dimension and measures. Measures means the numerical values we can perform calculation later. Similar, I think sometimes the early version of Tableau, they also use measures and dimensions, and now they change. So they remove those terms, they just show the variables, right, as numerical or like text files. And if you're looking for the order number, for example, see here under the right side, you can see this is the generic dimension like a text file. And sometimes if the SAC define your variable wrong, they put onto some variable, the type you want to change, you can change from here. So you can change, like right now we are on generic, you can change it to date, to account. The count like is like numeric, also change to measure. That's normally the most popular two, dimension or measure. Okay, you can switch from each other, and also you can change it to a date. And this is a dimension. If I choose something like, for example, a numerical value, like the sales revenue, I believe we have that later. Like this revenue, if you click on the revenue or revenue USD, you see this one is a number, and you also can check the data distribution. Okay, like briefly, if you scroll down, you see the distribution like minimum, maximum, median, and the data range. So you have a general understanding for the data distribution for each of the data column. I believe Tableau or Excel, they can do something similar, okay, as like data observation or data understanding. So that's one way you look for your data. And the other way, if you see the layout in like, if you can see my mouse, okay, move in the top left. And they also have a view for all of your data fields, they call card view. So each data column, they call a card. So card view, so you can put, is not in the table format, is have a summary for all of your data fields. We have 25, like 25 variables, okay, totally. Again, you can check each of them, or if you want to do some changing or transformation, okay, based upon the features you want. I'm going back to the table view, and I will do a few manipulation of the data, like transformation or data wrangling, before we create the model. First, let me move to the very left. I will combine, so concatenate, they call in SAC. So combine year, month, and date together as a single column. Right now they are separate. You can do column merge or column split. So under SAC, very easy. So if I want to merge these three together, I can hold my control key. So year, month, and day. And on the right side, if you click any of the column or a combination of the column, you see these two choices. You can delete the column or hide, but I'm going to do some manipulation. So concatenate with some variable like the variable you select, or create a transformation in other ways. I'm going to concatenate, use a backslash. So when you click on this, and you see it's already changed, like this format already changed in the like in the top row. So I will add this slash, and they are changing. Yes. Oh, I need to delete the revenue. I don't know why they add the revenue here. So only this. So should be year, month, day using the slash to separate them. And once I finish, I can click on OK. They are, oh, why they are doing this odd number? I think. So this is not really something I wanted to see. Okay, like if I did something wrong, I always can, I believe, I can delete. Didn't do it. So the customer, I make sure let me try one more time, okay, quickly. Okay, now I think it will be right.
I think by mistake the customer
Yeah.
column also got wrapped up in the date. That's what
Uh-huh.
happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but this time I think I got it. You can see here is combined already. This one, so the year, month, and yeah, make sure. And here this like the red thing, because right now they are recognizing this as a probably a like a numerical value. I'm going to change it to date. Yeah, right now is recognizing as a mirror. I'm going to change to date, and it will change. And now it's become white, means it's corrected. So the three columns we combine together use the concatenate transformation. I think all other things seems to be right. And the other major things I will show briefly is define, add some properties like to the variables, to fill variables and create a hierarchy, and then the geomap. So it's up to you, Dr. Decide. So which way you want to do. I can finish all of these demos later, like, so use a recording.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and or like, because it will take some time, or like, I just show briefly how we start, and
Okay.
then we can do the analysis. I think if you think that's better.
Yeah, that I think that'll be good
Yeah,
because
I
now
think
they
that's
can
better.
figure it
Yeah.
out now. They know how to
Right,
transform
right,
it.
right. Yeah,
Within
because
one,
for these details, yeah, it's really take time, and they will get lost if they don't follow me. So
yes.
I will just, do this like a brief overview, and then I will do the demo separately.
And you have
So
in the instructions you have it, right? The handout that they
right
have.
in the handouts, right, and if they want to see some video demo, I can do that later also.
Yes.
Mm. Yeah, but
That'll be
this is
fine. Yeah.
only one. Right, right. The other thing I can show you briefly is I can show you a finished model. Okay, I already created, so you can see how it look like. So I will open, like, I'm just discarding it. So I have the model I already created. Okay, once you finish, you should have features like this. And this is the view. You can see this is the schema. So the data schema means it's not like a table or like column rows. They have your data foundation, like you have measures, calculations, dimensions. Then we have your major variable group, like a circulate, okay, this center. So we have the customer group of variables like customer ID, customer name, like location, cities, their address. It's like your customer table, right? So we have the group of customer related properties, product related properties like their number, description, and the like the bicycle type. Okay, they have the product and order item, order number, the year, month are the data variable, and the account and some other measurements that calculations we have. And if I show this, and you also can show briefly how your data like look like, okay, under the modeling. And I believe when Nancy, like our instructor, like the workshop instructor mentioned, once you finish your model, she doesn't recommend to change your data transformation, because if you change your data transformation after you build the model, it involves lots of problems, especially after you have used the model for your analysis. So before you create a model, make sure you did everything, you finish everything for the data wrangling, okay, before you confirm creation of the model. And this is how the model look like. And then we can use it for multiple analysis, okay, except for regression and classifications. So I will close my model. And then we'll start to build, like I'm just showing you how to start some basic data analysis and visualization. So once I can directly click
Did you
this
guys
like
understand
TV,
something here that she finished the
right?
data wrangling first
Mm,
completely and then you do the modeling? Because once you do the model and
right,
if you go back and change some data, it will be a problematic. So
right.
plan it out first, exactly what data you need to merge or whatever formation that you want to do with the data wrangling, they call it, and then come back and do the model. Okay.
Yes, yeah, Dr. Disa is right. Because once you finish, like because after you use a model for different analysis, if you change the, like if you do data wrangling again, it's not only affecting one of your analysis, it will affecting the other analysis. You may not want to change the data. So that's like something be careful. And sometimes they call, you also can do a data modeling when you create a story. In that case, that data model is only available for for that analysis only. You cannot use it for other analysis. So different ways. You can have a common data model, or you can have an analysis specific model. Okay, like it's like this model. I only use it for my regression analysis. So that's like a one like special one. We can start from here to practice some analysis and visualization like this TV. Like I mentioned, mostly you can choose the responsive. Okay, this is the flexible screen size. You can adjust it and view it later in different displays. I will create a new responsive. And this is a new feature from last year. I believe they have some optimized design. They always ask you, you want to use a classic or the optimized. I prefer use the classic one because they mentioned they may not have all of the functionalities for this optimized new version. Okay, just create. For responsive page, mostly you will have two lanes, so you can work, you can add different analysis in different places. For each lane, you can add more than one, okay, not only like one analysis per lane, and you also can change the size, like I want to make wider or narrow, like for the relative width of each of the lanes. And this is your story, and this is the data. Like I see, I have not introduced my data yet. Now I will introduce the data. I'm going to perform the analysis, and from you can directly import. So if you didn't do the importing early, you can directly do from external or database, or from a common data model we just created. Okay, I will choose this one and choose other existing, okay, existing models. I will choose the other models I have. and I will choose this one, the GB, okay, analytic data. So when you finish, like when you create your model and give it a name, okay, meaningful name, you can remember which model you need to apply when you do the analysis. And this is the summary of the data we have from the modeling. I don't really need to use it from here, so I will go back to my story. Now the data is linked to the story. And you have these like views, like you have designer, edit. So now we are in the edit mode. Once you finish, if you want to preview how your analysis look like, you can use the view function. Okay, mostly when you perform the analysis, we are under edit. I think probably, let me see the time. So we can do some brief mapping analysis or time series quickly. Okay, like for today. I will stay on page one, and you can see like you can have multiple page of analysis on the story. You always can add more pages later. So this is page one. Also, I can change the page name later for the formatting and styling. I will add a GO, I think here, insert. This is most of the starting analysis. I can add charts, tables. Input control is like your filters or like filters data range. So input control and much more from here. So geomap, I can add image, shape, text, header, okay, web page, and even R. Yeah, I know you learned R, right? So like from the, and lots of other things we can add to our analysis. I will choose a geomap, and it will show you a base map. And if you want other type of like the, so rather than this green colored, okay, you can choose other the map choices, okay, from these choices. I will just stay on my base map. And for the mapping, we can have multiple layers of the map. In another way, I can analyze multiple variables based upon the location variable we have. I have a customer location as my location variable. I can analyze the sales revenue and the sales quantity in the same time as two layers in the map. I do not know this multiple layer available in Tableau. I tried something, but I didn't get the same result as in SAC. I can do like one variable each time, but it didn't kind of like I couldn't do like more than variable. Okay, like in that case. So I will add the first layer. Layer one, they have different layer. I will choose for the first one, I will choose this one, color plus. So like kind of like colors. So like a field map. And then add your main location. Okay, like your longitude or latitude, we already build my location variable. And this variable I also built in my modeling stage. So build a customer location. And then choose the customer location. You can see I already have some field map, and I'm going to analyze my sales revenue total based upon the customer location. So add my measures. So measures should be a numerical value. I will use the revenue USD. And you can see this color. I can see, right? So like blue. I believe you can change the color palette, okay, like later, depending on your choice. So if you see additional fine tuning, okay, for the colors, I can use this default, and I can use different ones, like brighter one. Also, I need to change the color range so I can have more granularities on my color choices. And then I can click preview, yeah. And you can have a preview, then you click OK. So that will be probably your layer one. And then if I can just focus on the like North America, so I can choose my zoom in and zoom out like a filter. So I want to just use the North America. Okay, you can use the rectangle to filter your data. So for this display, and then if you want, I think I can add a layer too. So once you finish this layer, you can have this and go to my main. Have layer one, then you can have a layer two. So second layer, as this one, I will use the bubble layer, means you will see bubbles. So still the same location variable, customer location, and this time I'm going to add the sales quantity, okay, as the second variable. Oh, sorry, the bubble color, okay, is this one. I still want to use maybe some this, and then the measures, the range I can choose also maybe 5. So different colors, and then add your measures is your sales quantity. So define your map layer, the location variable, and the bubble color. So you can use, or if you want to use the default, you can use the default, or if you want to change the bubble size, because I probably can remove this. I don't want to show it's too large. But if you want to link the bubble to the size of your sales quantity, you can use it, okay, later. And then I think color, yeah, sales quantity. Okay, that's the one. So 2 layers of the data. But you can fine tune. So if you want, if you check the tutorial, like the instructions, they have the detailed step by step instructions, okay, to build and finish additional features for this map. So suppose I finished like a brief map, then I'm going to add a second page for another responsive page for a time series studies. So time series study for, I believe, the sales quantity or sales revenue with the time. And this one, first, I will just choose a bar chart, and then I will change it to a time series chart. So if you insert a chart, this is like the basic charting options in Tableau also. So you have different comparison charts, trending charts, distribution charts, correlation, right? Indicator. I can use a numerical point, like a calculation of the total revenue is just to display the total revenue in the story. But I'm going to choose a bar chart like this chart, bar charts comparison. I will change later to the time
I have a quick
series.
comment, Dr. Wang. Uh,
Yes.
Guys, what I would suggest is this is being recorded. So if you have maybe 2 computers or something, or this recording, you can keep it somewhere so that you can work in parallel. Whatever she's going through right now, you can also do one-on-one so that you can stop and sort of complete the steps that she's completing. So it will be a lot easier for you to follow, because simply viewing the recording will not help you to do anything. But I would say go step by step in parallel. Normally
Yeah,
that'll be a lot easier for you. Okay.
I totally agree, right? That's
Yeah.
what basically we do when we attend the workshops, right? So Dr.
Yeah,
Design.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Because
Right.
I know it is overwhelming. And if you are not
Yeah,
familiar with
yeah,
it,
that's
it
true.
gets too clogged up in your brain. So
Right,
it's
right.
better to
Yeah,
go step by step and then try to digest little by. It's like eating something bite by bite. Don't just
right. Yeah.
swallow the whole thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
because like viewing the demo is one thing, do it by yourself is another thing. Is always like,
So you
but
can
I
stop
for
and
this
go, stop
one,
and go, and do it
mhm,
that way. Okay.
right. So I will like keep the comparison and I keep it as a horizontal, right? So you always can change it to vertical of your bar displays. And see, I need to add measures and dimensions, right? So for a bar, any type of charts, we need a numerical value and some dimensions to check. For the measure, I will add the revenue, USD, the total revenue, and then I will go to dimension. The dimension I will use date because the time series of studies, we are checking the trend for the variable based upon the date. So I will choose the date. I think I have some. They should have this. Probably I'm using like a. So I have too many data sets. This may not be the. Let me see. They should already show something. Configure. But if it's corrected, they should show this already. Let me change. Oh, matter. I didn't. So I did go back to the revenue. Yeah. Okay, now it's showing because when I double clicked, so it's on select my revenue. So my dependent variable is total revenue and independent variable is the date. Now it's aggregate because everything is crumbled in the same place. But as I think I changed the date, the time, I believe, no. So I'm changing the range and the revenue. This is the date. August. Think let me double check the data. So maybe I choose the. Let's see. So let me quickly discard this and so redo another one. Okay, for the let me use another one. The data. So it seems the data is not that right. Yeah, this should be the correct one. And I'm going to the story and add the bar charts. Oh, I need to change to the time series. I see, like dimensions, and then the date. And I'm going to change because currently I still on here. Excuse me. So I need to change the charts from the original one to a time series. Okay, like I didn't select the time. So if you do trending analysis like stacked area line or time series, we need to change from the regular comparison to a different chart type. And now I will expand this so you can see clearly. And there is a slider in the bottom of the page. I can select the data range. I want to show all of the periods we have the data, I think all the way from 2008. And the data, you can see really some time series patterns. And this is from the past. For time series, we can easily add predictions for the future, like, for a few more new areas. So you can slide, okay, change. So depending on your choice of the data range, and so slide between the data choices. And then I'm going to add a few prediction. So if you, all of the charts, like the charts we created, you can use this dot on the right to add enhancers. This is different from Tableau also. The analysis or visualization enhancers, mostly we can get from you click on these three dots and check different options. We can add reference line. For example, I can add a average, like you can do a like a fixed line, okay, or dynamic average. For example, your revenue, right? So this one I select and use revenue and average. That's normally, so they will add a average line here as reference. And I also can add, this is my forecasting. Okay, automatic forecasting, or you can define your own way to do the linear regression, triple exponential, or additional inputs. I will do two, like automatic. So the prediction pattern looks slightly different. Okay, but and it may take a few minutes behind, and they still are doing forecast loading. They need time to run this to show the results. So I choose automatic this time, but you can choose the regression or triple exponential later. That's all in the instruction file. You can try different ways, and you can see the prediction shape look different from each other. But once it's finished, it should show still loading. It should show your prediction area in here. I know for Tableau, we can do also these similar things. So once you have the data variable and some numerical values you want to predict. So that's kind of the one of the predictive scenario. Okay, and you also can do a separate time series for your data sets only. Okay, if I'm not combining this with other analysis. Still loading. Okay. But that's like how you can do. Once it's still loading, probably I will just add another one like responsive. So you can do lots of like, for example, the bar charts. If I want to do like the numerical value, what I can do here. Primary value, I want to add like for example, my revenue, right? So revenue, this is a numerical point. And then some smarter features we can do from here, like because right now I'm only looking for the revenue variable. So if you click on the dot, you can see that they have a smart insights. That's kind of the machine learning can help us understand this variable. So use this one, you can add some suggested analysis insights from the system. So you click on that, they will give you idea, okay, what the further steps we can take action to understand this data later. So can they give you some rough idea? Okay, most of these, like the total, how much like decrease or increase over time, and you can choose on the view more. And also they have some, I believe, like analysis. So you can do, oh yeah, it's still loading. Okay, when I click on view more, they will show the additional insights in the right. And they will show you some charts and analysis. If you like some of the charts, you can directly add to your analysis page. So for example, like this one, revenue per date for actual, or like a variances analysis. If I click on this, I can copy this to a new canvas page, or copy to page 1, page 2, or copy to a new responsive page, right? So that's some of the smart features we can use for additional insights. So I think I probably just copy to page 2, right? So that's additional variables for your total revenue. So you don't need to do anything. They will give you these insights. If further, I believe for this additional analysis, like if you want, you can, I think you can dig more, add more insights, okay, for this analysis. So you can continue to work on this. So very useful. Now let's go back to page 1 to see the loading is finished or not. Oh, you can see there's slide. Okay. I will use my slider. Oh, I will just choose to the most recent. So you can see this is a prediction, right? The upper bound and the lower bound for the prediction of your sales revenue for the future periods. And this is based upon the automatic forecasting. And the next time when you do it, you can use the uh, like advanced options. For example, you can choose the linear regression. Okay, but it will take time. Okay, it will run it again and give you a different prediction. So that's only a maybe like a very small corner of what you can do in the story function. I hope, I'm sorry for this the mistake. I hope it will open. Okay, I think you are already on the advanced level, so you can explore more by yourself. But when you have any question, when you practice this like model building or the analysis and the story creation, let me know. Like you can email me. Also, I think I will just record some demos, like the whole model building and this data analysis and visualization. So you can watch the complete demo okay, for this part later. So if not today, I think I can finish tomorrow. And then Thursday, we will move on to the more smart features and with the predictive. Or if you have any question coming from today, we also can discuss it.
So did you guys
Yeah, so
hear
I
that she's going to create
will.
some another model on her own, and then you can view that also in case you need some help. But I would say, like I said, just go step by step. You know, once you understand one step, then go to the next one and so on.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and then now it's showing the regression prediction. Okay, it seems like very flat, but you see like the output slightly different.
and you have noticed that it takes
Mhm.
time for it to load and run and everything. So be
Right.
patient
Mhm.
with these things.
Mhm.
Right
Mhm.
away, you may not see the result because it has to crunch a lot of the numbers before
Yeah,
you
if
can
you don't
see.
see the results, right? Like normally, if you don't see the results, don't just click like what I previously did. If I
Yeah,
just click, actually, I unchecked my choices. So you see some weird things you didn't realize what happened. Okay, in that case.
just be patient. That's it. Just be
Mm,
patient
right.
before, but once
Mm.
it stabilizes, then you go to the next feature.
Yes, I'm done for today, Dr. Desai, I think. Mm,
Okay,
mm,
so I'm going to go ahead and stop recording this thing.
mhm,
And if you guys have any question, please go ahead and send that email or something. But I would say practice. And there is an instruction sheets also given to you, the whole exercise that you can go step by step. Just follow those instructions and do it. Okay. It's the same thing that she has presented to you. It's in the all this formal instruction that is given to you for the exercise. Okay.